Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Friday, October 8, and starting with the ASX on the daily chart here. We're looking for a B wave up here yesterday. There's a couple, we can put a wave A here or here, it doesn't really matter. We could also look at this as a triangle as well, that doesn't really matter. We're just really focused on this move here, and whatever short or long trades we can take from this position. I just really don't think that that we're finished yet in this correction. We haven't pulled down to our targets. Not seeing, it's not like from the low here we're seeing a really nice impulse wave to the upside. So yeah, let's just continue to move in through here. So, just get my bearings here. So, yeah, so I've got this here as the A, the B and the C for the A wave, and then the A, the B and the C for the B wave here, and then we'll be looking down for the C wave here once we get that top in. So we'll need to work out 5 waves in this structure, and then we'll need to see. So we really want to see weakness Friday afternoon, If the market closes really strong on the Friday, then it's likely to follow through on the Monday. So let's just see how this goes. It's a bit like the bullish weekly cycle in reverse, because we're seeing Thursday as that bullish day. You'll know what I mean if you know the bullish weekly cycle, which is on our website. So yeah, there are different ways to count this. So if you've got it counted differently, doesn't really matter. You could still put that here as well. A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, and E for the B wave. Maybe it doesn't look like it's in 3 though, but we'll have a look at that. Doesn't look like it's in 3. That doesn't look like it's in 3. So I think it's better suited like this. There are other ways to count it. Probably, but at the end of the day, we can see that, well, obviously that, what's that, 7,300, so the top of minor group 1 is really what it's all about, isn't it? It's either going to accept that number, that's 7,300, the top of minor group 1 of 7,000, 1, 2 and 3. If it finds support on that, sure, we can look to the upside. I'm okay with that. But otherwise it's going to reject it and drop down. It's that sort of simple. My bias is to drop down, but I'm always open for a trade setup. So, but if it was going to be a trade setup here, we would need to see a good setup here. Would need to see it. It's not going to happen today. Do you know what I mean? That type of thing. So we'll have time for that. Let's go to the hourly chart. Yeah. So we need to basically look for. Looks like wave 3 and 4 in there, and 5 to go up. Not sure if that's finished or not, but let's just say that we get some sort of. Anyway, we're looking for 5 waves, and I'll just detach that now, because if we were going to go long, we would need to see that first high above the level, a decent like that, and then we could go long above that high, and we could probably drop it down to the second high. But, we never got that push up at that point for that. So we only got half of the setup there. So that's what the same thing we'd need over here again to see. So we'd need that top in. Most of the time you'll get a second high there. And then if that's breached, then you can go long from that point. But what often happens, you have to wait for those highs to be breached. If you jump the gun in dangerous situations like we're in now, you may just get the second retest, and then you'll end up being lower from that point. And after 1, 2, 3 here, then you really need to be on the short side at that point, because if it was going to be bullish, it would need to maintain those 3 waves there as an ABC correction. So that's the safe short at that point. You can short it on these highs, but you need to make sure that you've got your money management sorted out, your discipline and your strategy all sorted out. You need to know what you're doing. Doesn't matter what you do, as long as you know what you're doing. So I mean, you'd think testing at all these times it would like to find support here, wouldn't you, And maybe, I mean, after all, just looking at both sides of the coin, that's kind of a bit of a low here. And it has finished on 5 waves here. We could get 5 waves out of that, I can see. So maybe that is the low there. Maybe that's I'm just thinking out loud here. Maybe that's the A wave here for this. And then this would be the B wave. Copy this here. And then the C wave, copy that and put that here on this move down. And then have the Y sitting over there on this. But the reason, I mean, that's all doable. I like it. But we haven't really made a new low below here, and we haven't reached our target. So I have to keep those in mind, that's important stuff. I mean, sure, markets don't always reach their targets, so I'm aware of that. Anyway, I'm just sort of shooting the breeze here because, as you can see, it is a bit of a tricky, I mean, it's a roller coaster, isn't it, So we're not really getting that involved in it as such. I mean, we're doing our best. I'm doing my best to analyse it and to get something sort of happening. But my main focus is finding that wave 4 low, And don't forget, we might have to see banks come down again as well at this point. I mean, mind you, banks will probably push up today. We'll have a look at those in a moment. Let's just go, sorry, I'm just dreaming. Let's go to the tick chart and look at this. Okay, haven't been here for a bit. I'll double check that in a moment. Let me just have a look inside that now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or do I need to put that over there? One. It's a bit short, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, got it. That's 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Third wave, fourth wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ABC. What have we got here? That's a bit rough and ready, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll have to stay with that because that's the only way that's going to fit. And A wave, B wave, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the C wave. Is that right? That's the question. Where does that leave us here then? That leaves us with 1 and 2 here. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. That's not quite right. Looks like we want to do one more high, doesn't it? So there's probably another high to come in. But I'm just checking now. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's looking quite good. That's a B wave. That's an A wave. 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bit of overlapping and ending, but it could end in 3 waves, so that could be the ending diagonal, so that could be okay. I'm just wondering if that is 1 here, an A and a B and a C for 2 here. If that's the case, then we've got one more move to the upside. I suppose I'll have to do that. Could drop here before making one more high. That's 1 and 2, that's 1, 2, 3, it's 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, and that leaves 1 and 2. Looks all of the third wave there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, still left here. Yeah, anyway, there's 5 waves there, I just can't pin it down. I don't want to waste too much time. So yeah, is that my problem there? I don't know if that's the A, the B and the C for the 4th wave, or that's the 4th wave. It's a bit small for the 4th wave, isn't it, compared to that one? So we could have a top in play here. But just give it a little bit of or just give it a bit of room to move. The other point here too is that let's just, when I don't know what's going on, I like to revert to the price, the trading levels. So I know that group 1 above and group 2 below. So this, whatever happens here, it's all about that 7,003. It's all about the 300, right? So if I'm completely wrong and the market keeps going up, if we get a classic trading levels pattern sitting on top of group 1 here, then you'll know that Pete's wrong again and we need to be going long at that point. And also too, on the short side here with group 2 here, if you see this, I normally use the 72, but 65 is just a little bit safer. So if you see something like that here, then you know that you're on the short side. Okay, so in between here, just be very careful, trade less if you're going to start poking the snake with a stick, you know. And yeah, just the other thing too is that, you know, be very careful about going long up here, because you just get trapped. If you're long already, that's fine, you could try to milk a bit more out of it, but don't forget that in one way or another, if I've got this right or wrong, it's, you know, I won't be far off. But if we do get the 5 waves up here, remember that we're going to get some kind of decent sized correction to rebalance that here anyway. What you have to do is work out if it's going to drop out of group 1, then you need to be on the short side, but take a bit of care, because, you know, if that is 5 waves up there, and I think there's more to go up here, because I know there's more to go with the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. So that will happen. What will happen is the Asian market will open up, Tokyo being the sort of the big one. That's where the bonds flow around the world, and the carry trade, you know. So the carry trade, the Australian dollar, Australian banks, index flows that way, Aussie index. Yeah, what was I saying? Lost on that. Yeah, the whole world's all about the interest rate, which is about the carry trade. Well, not just about the carry trade, but, you know, I mean, if you're going to sharpen up something that you need to understand a bit more, I imagine. But if you take that length up here, right, I'll just take it to the 7330, then you could expect the market to come back to this level here. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that, because that would be wave 1 and back for wave 2. But I'm expecting it to continue on down. But I have to look at both. We need to look at both sides of the coin. We shouldn't just stick our head in the ground, you know, because that's very costly in this game, you know. You're not the boss. Yes, you control anything that happens to you. That's your fault, you know. But and you're in control of the markets. The markets is not in control of you, but the market is the boss. You know, it's just going to do what it's going to do, and you have to. I don't know. I mean, you have to sort of use your intuition, or if you tap that. Not everybody taps that. Not everybody trusts it. It takes another skill set to learn. The girls are good at that. That's why girls are better traders. Well, I've seen the two best Elliott traders I've seen are, well, apart from Bob Pratcher, he was good. But it would have to be two girls, and one of them showed me the way. In Elliott, of course, and and they're just so accurate, just so detailed, amazing. Anyway, that's where we are with this. Sorry to be so long with all of that, so I'll leave that there, and we'll just go back to the hourly chart here for a moment, just to recap this a little bit. It's possible there's a top in here, okay? There's also possible that there's another little high to go in. If we do get another little high in, then use group 1 above and group 2 below and look for the setups at that point. If you don't understand the second thing here, just work to the top. So put that over there for that. Because I wouldn't feel very good about myself if, I'm sort of pig-headed and telling you that it's coming down here somewhere, and yet the market finds support and continues to the upside. We've got to kind of be a bit realistic about things, and we're not in an easy situation. I mean, this here, Anyway, that's that. Let's move on. Let's have a look at the banks. I don't think they did much yesterday, did they? No, just a bit of an inside day. So we're just going to leave that there. Let's just see if they... I'll just have a look on the tick chart for a moment. But like I mentioned yesterday, we can go long above there, because if we go long above there, we'll be starting another move to the upside, and then we'll have to look at this as 1 and 2 here. But I just can't see it. It's just don't see it. I just want to have a look at that. See if I can glean anything from that. I can see that's 5 waves. I can see that that could be an A and a B and a C and the end of it, and we could go up from that point. I mean, that there looks bearish, bullish. So what we can do is we can just take that high and that low there, and we could say that any move above that 61.8% and the market would be looking pretty bullish at that point. This looks a bit bullish here. If that top is made out here, then we'll look for 5 waves up here. 1, 2, 3, little 5-wave sequence to move up here. It doesn't mean that it's, this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, or an A, B, C for the 4 and down for the 5th, and then coming back up here. There's a variety of things it can do here. Obviously, there's going to be support there because of this 50-60% retracement level coming through there, so it's not going to be easy. But I suppose one way is that if that 103 becomes the retested resistance at any stage, that will be going lower at that point. That looks like a little impulse wave up there. That looks like an A and a B and a C correction here for that. So there might be some fluffing around up here, but it may not be bullish. You could be bullish if you've got a classic trading levels pattern on 104. You could get a small position with the view of adding at 105, because that's where we would need to be long from at that point. So I don't know that. It's just not. I'm not there yet with it. And ANZ, yeah, nothing happening here either. I won't look inside all of that. So yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to see this move down one more time down through here. We'll just have to see how that plays out. Okay, so over to we'll have a look at India for a moment. It looks like it wants to push up there, but like I said, I'm not concerned about it at the moment. There's no trade set up. There's no trade there. If you're long already, that's fine, and you can stay in there. But otherwise, that's not going to happen. And sorry about that. Some other dogs came in the house, so there's all sorts of things going on. But I'm just going to keep going. Also, China. China's still on holidays because I can see that with the other market, and but this is just the futures market here. So as I mentioned with this market here, that we could look at it as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and to the upside, or an A and a B and a C here. But while these lows are in play here, I think we'll just stay with that. You know, I'll just have a look at the other markets. Let me just have a look at the comp, the Shanghai comp. Oh, of course they're not open, so it's a bit stupid. Okay, so that's that. The iron ore hasn't moved. That's still there from where it is. So it means that, you know, because there's nothing really happening here, there's not going to be much happening with those type of stocks with all that as well. So with that, let's just go to the commodities. Let's start with gold here for a moment. So the thing with gold is that we've had our move down through here as a corrective move to the downside, and then we're looking at an impulse to the upside of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1, an A and a B and a C for 2 here, and then looking at this as wave 1 and 2. Now, all of this is fine. Now, we can count this in different ways as we did yesterday as well, but the important thing about this is that the 750, or rather this low here at the 61.8%, that really at 1740, the market needs to stay above 1740 for us to be positive. It hasn't moved a lot at this particular stage. We also know that ABX and those markets, GDX and that, have got further to move to the downside. So just looking at that, let's have a look at that. Whoops a daisy, this one here. Let's just get this charting program in play there. That's just the US dollar. We'll come back to that. I just want to have a look at the gold here, the metals. So I'm just going to go straight to ABX. So this is Barrick here. So GDX will be much the same as well here. So we can see that we got 5 waves. We can see that we got 5 waves here, and we've got a correction. Okay, so then we've got this move down through here, which will also be 5 waves, and then we've got this correction here, and this little move here would also be 5 waves as well. So this, you know, ABX would. This is ABX, but GDX will be. The ETF will be doing exactly the same. So this is what I've got to be careful of, because I can see that we need to go up here a little bit more, and then we need to come down here. So that, you know, this is the biggest gold mining stock in the world. Well, I don't know what China's got. I think they've got even some bigger ones, haven't they now? I don't know. Anyway, in the West, so Barrick Gold, Newcrest Mining, and so on. Let's just have a little look at Newcrest. I haven't seen that for so long. Right, so Newcrest here as well. We've got wave 3, 4 here, down for 1, back for 2. We're looking for the 3rd wave down here, and then the 4th and the 5th. So this is still moving down as well. So this move up through here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, something into there. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So let me just. This is a good example of where we're at here. Now I'm just not quite sure about that one and that one, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that will be 1, 2, 3. This will be a little 4 here, and then that will be 5 here, and that would be wave 3 there, then wave 4 there, and then wave 5. So we've got that will hold up there today, you know, and for a while. But what concerns me is that this is going to be coming down. That's what we got to go to the end of this in a nutshell, you know. So will US spot gold be pulled down on that? So GDX, ABX, Newcrest, all of those will be doing all of that sort of stuff, right? So yeah, it's just looking a bit sluggish, you know. I really want to see it push up from this point, but I'm a bit concerned about that now in that regard. The 50-60% still up there. Anyway, I'll put a bit more thought into that. All of it looks bullish, but I'm just concerned that we'll have ABX, we'll have all those gold stocks going down while this is going up. You know, it has been the case to a point anyway, so it's all okay to a point. Okay, so that's that. Then we go to crude. Crude's pulled down here a little bit, so it's pulled back up, so that's that. We'll look for still another high to come in here and so on. Still got more bullish upside there. And gas, let's just have a look at gas while we're here as well. It's in this one, in energy here. So what we talked about yesterday, I have to go to my daily chart here for a moment. So they're kind of panning out okay in a way. It was kind of a bit weird, but we're looking for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third wave, the A wave, the B wave and the C wave. So we've got like an expanded flat sitting here. So we could just continue up from this point. Let's just go and have a little look at that. I'll just go to the hourly chart. It's a little bit small. That bothers me a little bit, but it's kind of a bit bigger than the other one here. Not in days, I suppose, but just going to go to the hourly chart. It's not... So this is what we're looking at. So the A wave here, and then an A and a B and a C wave here for the B wave, taking out the top here. And because it takes out the top here, then technically it needs to take out the low down here. Well, you know, within reason, but it looks like we're there. So it looks like, I mean, there's probably a 1 and 2 in here somewhere, because that looks like the 3 and 4 and 5 here. So unless it's going to double in size in some way, otherwise it should be sort of okay to start building back up in that direction, you know. Still doesn't give us, I'll just have a look at WPL. This is Woodside here, and we're just looking at this trend here because we've been looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we're just basically looking, this is at $25, and this will be the same for Santos and all the other ones that we looked at yesterday as well. But basically we just want this to give us the first high above the level, and then some sort of, you know, some sort of movement across here, some correction that we can move in on, you know, at this point. That's what we're looking for, and this will be Santos will be the same as well. We don't have that there yet. Just go to the daily chart for these for the moment. So yeah, so this is the basic pattern that we could have bought in here, and I said it would be okay to do that, but at the end of the day we need this 5 waves up and some sort of pullback. It may not be that big, of course, it could be that size kind of thing, but we do need something after this 5 wave structure here. And yeah, so it's really just had its arrival at the $8 mark here. So it's had the arrival, the reaction, and then the first high above the level is what we're looking for. So anyway, that's that. I will just go back to my dollar at that point, US dollar. So just have to have a look at copper first, just to finish that other one off. Copper. So as I mentioned with copper, we'll just go to the daily chart, just for the folks that are not tuned in. It's a little bit like what's happening with equities at the moment, in indices rather. So we've got wave 3 up here, we're looking for wave 4. We've got the first leg down as the A wave here. We're looking for a B wave here. We're looking for some sort of triangle pattern within all of this here. The triangle for wave B, so an A wave, a B wave, an A, B, C for this. We'll just see how that goes. I wonder if I can put that there. Didn't really make a new high there, did it? I'll just go to I want to have a look at the hourly chart here just for a moment. Kind of gave us that C wave there, didn't it, for that, so I kind of got to respect that. So we can look for the B wave here, and then the C wave here for the D wave, and then the E wave over here for the B wave. So in a nutshell, we've still got this to finish off here. Something like that. I mean, don't take that to heart or anything, but we're not ready to go yet, put it that way. As I mentioned before, from the A wave here, we don't have 5 waves up here, so we're not going to be impulsing to the upside. We've also got 3 waves here, so an A and a B and a C. We've got 3 here, we've got 3 here, we've got 5 here, which is okay because it is a C wave here. And then the A, the B, and the C, that will also be in 5 waves here, then the A, B, and C. So, yeah, I mean, this is what we've been doing, isn't it? Just sort of looking at this in its own little way. So we'll just, I mean, it hasn't gone anywhere, so we don't need to worry about this too much. But it also, yeah, let's have a look at the currencies. So let's just look at the US dollar first. So it looks like it wants to move up. So from this green wave 4 over here, I'm looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 to here, then 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave. So we'll just see if this pushes up here, but then we'll probably have to change it after that. So so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here and 5 here. This could just be, we could actually have a top in here because this can be counted as 5 waves down here, and then an ABC for the correction, and then continue to move down from that point there. So it's just that I couldn't get a very clear count on this here initially. So thinking one more move to the upside. Where does that leave the Australian dollar at that point? I've just had a bit of a look at it this morning. You know, I find it very difficult from the low here to get 5 waves up here. I could probably push it. The 5th wave would just be that last little leg in here, which is a bit small when I compare it to if this was like 1 and 2 here, and then the 3rd wave up into here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll probably get all that up there for 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the 3rd wave, the 4th wave, and the 5th wave. So it's a bit small, you know, to push that. It's better to put it as an ABC correction. On our website, we've got this counted correctively. But at the same time, I can see here that it can also be counted 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the low here. Yeah, there is a bit of an overlap there for that. So I was thinking that we also just need to be a bit mindful. We could count that up as 5 waves, and then an A and a B and a C for the B wave, and then 5 waves up here. So that's the 50-60% of this here. So I think we just sort of allow that. It's nearly finished. Let's just allow it to do its thing there, and then that's going to pull back at that point. It's either going to come down and give us the 3rd wave, like down for 1, back for 2, down for 3. But once that high comes in here, that will also give us a long trade if that's breached at that point. That's about, as looking at both sides of the coin, that's about the best I can do with that at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on this as a 5-wave structure to the upside, and then when it pulls back, if it goes up again, then we'll take that high out and we'll go along at that point. But otherwise, it will roll over and move lower as the US dollar index moves higher. So over to the resource stocks. And we'll just look at US BHP. It's up 1.3%. So we're kind of looking for it to go up yesterday. As I mentioned yesterday, this is a daily chart for US BHP. Sorry about that. US BHP from wave B here to C here. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 and down for 5. 5 has been a little bit laborious, but we've got from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to that point. So then we've got 1 and 2 and 3. I'm looking for an A and a B and a C for 4 and then making a new low. So I don't have that new low in here yet. We're looking for a jump yesterday. So that will come back up to the wave 4 of 1 less degree. So it might spend a day or two up here. But we still haven't got that move to the downside just yet with this, so that's what we're waiting for next. So it's not there, so that won't be there on the other markets as well. So where are we? On Australia BHP, where's that? So yeah, looking for the same thing there. We're just looking for you know, we're just looking for another low here, but we can have that little jump there first and then come down from that point. And that will be the same for Rio as well, and FMG and so on. Where's Rio? There it is. So still looking, well, as I mentioned before, it just appears that way because it looks like we've got 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 here. So this is like 1, 2, 3 back for 4. I still think we should be at 90 for this. Still, yeah, I still think we should be sort of down here for that. We're not there yet. Like I said, if we get a support on the 100, a setup, then sure, we'll take it. But otherwise, just looking at this, it looks like 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then down for the third wave. So, yeah, just not landed yet for that. Alrighty, I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.